I know we just have a few short moments with you, so I'm wondering if we can get right into the highlights.
Yes.
What have you found after you've launched this program, after you've been doing it for what, a year now?
Actually, we just launched on Earth Day of 2022, so it's less
So
than a
not
full
even a
year,
year.
right?
Wow.
And we found that we have not saturated the market for e-bikes. I mean, there's still tremendous interest. We have a list of over 15,000 people who have asked to be notified every time that we launch our new rebate applications. And so there's just tremendous excitement in Denver for e-bikes, and it's really exciting.
Grace, when you launched this program, I remember thinking and actually talking to you about this. You did so very deliberately, intentionally, and thinking about what data you were going to collect on the front end during the experience itself, surveying riders, and then certainly at the back end in order to show success. What were those data points? How have you been able to use them to drive decisions moving forward?
Well, we did make some changes to the 2023 program based on data from 2022. So, for example, we found that the cost of e-bikes purchased with our rebates in Denver dropped by $500 from April
Whoa.
through December of 2022.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, but we
Why?
think,
Yeah.
well,
What
because
happened?
there's more competition in the market. So
Mm.
in order for a bike shop to participate in our program, they actually have to be a brick and mortar store within 5 miles of the city limits of Denver. And so new actors came into our market in order to participate in our program, and more e-bikes for sale leads, at least from what I understand how capitalism works, the more supply there is in a market, the bike shops are able to compete against one another, and price is definitely one of those variables. And so that was a really tremendous result that we certainly didn't expect. But because of the data that we collect from our program, we're able to see that in real time throughout the year.
Grace, it's an interesting part of the program that you have to be a brick and mortar shop in
Yes.
order to participate. Why did you make that decision? We have a lot of companies on this platform right now at this conference who are direct to consumer, who are selling through the internet.
Okay.
What was the pitch to them?
You mean not, we don't pitch to them. I mean,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. So the reason why we did that, the customer experience is incredibly important. E-bikes are new for the consumer, and when things go wrong, somebody needs to be able to work on it. And what we found in Denver is that bike shops will not work on electric bikes that they do not sell, because when they do that, warranties are voided, and customers are left on their own. And so it was really important that we needed to have bike shops that can stand behind the bikes that they sell, and that they're able to provide ongoing customer service to the people who buy the bikes over the long term. So that's a very important customer focus. Obviously, we have an economic imperative too, that these are taxpayer dollars we're using for these
Sure.
rebates, and so it's definitely an added benefit that we can cycle those dollars back into the local economy.
Sure. And there are sales and property taxes in Denver, right?
This fund is only funded by sales tax.
Okay, got it. Got it. Interesting. And Grace, I know you collected some data on the consumer and you had different price points at which you offered these rebates. So there were income graduated levels of the rebates. What did you find about who was using the rebates themselves?
Okay, well, actually, we have two rebates levels. So one is the standard rebate, which this year is $300 and that's just for any resident of Denver who applies. And then the income qualified rebate is $1,200. And so it's a significant difference. And
Yeah,
what we found is that the standard rebate helps get people off the fence, right? It doesn't
sure.
make an e-bike more affordable, but it gives people that nudge to say, you know what, I've been thinking about it, and because I can get this rebate, I'm going to go and I'm going to actually take the plunge and buy this bike. But for the income qualified folks, it really does have to be an affordable purchase. And we really want to keep the out-of-pocket costs for those customers anywhere from $0 to maybe $300 out of pocket. And so by offering a $1,200 rebate, and again, as you mentioned earlier, this is an instant rebate. So this is a voucher they take to the bike shop, and it actually reduces the cost that they pay out of pocket. They don't have to pay the full amount and then get paid back later. So that really makes a difference. And what we found is that of the just over 4,700 people bought e-bikes in our program last year, they were almost evenly split between the standard rebate and the income qualified rebate.
Grace, for other cities who are considering doing this, why should they do this? Why shouldn't they do this? What should they know?
Well, in Denver, one of our imperatives in getting people to change their mode of transportation is that the transportation sector is the single largest contributor to air quality problems in Denver. So the creation of air pollution. So we want people to shift their modes of transportation. We also know, just from nationwide statistics, that the majority of trips that people take in driving alone in a car are less than 5 miles. So these are trips that are easily achievable in an e-bike. And there's so many different e-bikes on the market now that can serve different needs, right? Whether you're a person traveling alone, if you're going to have to carry groceries, if you're parents traveling with children, there are a lot of e-bikes to serve all the different needs. And so, you know, as cities are creating bike infrastructure like regular bike lanes, protected bike lanes, you know, more safe bike parking infrastructure, there's going to be a growing demand for the bikes that people will travel with, and we want people to be able to travel farther, a little bit faster, and more conveniently.
Grace, I know I got to let you go in about a minute here, but one last question. Chicken or egg, bike or bike infrastructure? I know a lot of people say you can't get more bikes on the road without more bike infrastructure. And then other people like myself who say you got to get more bikes to people in order to create those more powerful lobbies, if we're being honest, for bike infrastructure. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and split the baby and say that let's look at safe routes in general. Bike infrastructure is important, but there are a lot of safe routes that people can take that don't have bike infrastructure on them that
Sure.
can be that easy introduction. And especially for cities who maybe can't afford to put in bike lanes or protected bike lanes just yet, take a look at the city, take a look at your maps, find out where people are biking already, and then make that infrastructure, existing infrastructure, more known to the people.
Grace, excellent answer. So lovely to speak with you. And thanks again for joining us for just a quick interview.
Right. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.